Hey everyone, I am here to share some first impressions of a new fixed blade knife I picked up. Actually just got in the mail today from Knife Center. It is called the Boker Enki, E-N-K-I. I had never heard of this, and I saw it at Blade HQ, and Blade HQ wanted $43 for it, and I'm like, that's pretty cool. Unfortunately, they didn't have any in stock at the moment, and I didn't know when they were coming in, so I did a search on them and found out Knife Center had them in stock, and it was $29.95. That sounds good to me, because it was the same knife. Well, actually, no, the handles were a little different. That's why I think there was a $13 difference, but I don't care. Anyway, so I got this knife. I think it's pretty cool. It's $13. So I'm going to share this with you. As if you follow my videos, I've made a couple of videos lately about fixed blade knives, scout carry, and my search for the perfect fixed blade, which I really don't think exists, but I set up some rules basically for what I consider the perfect fixed blade. And this one, even though it's a budget knife, it ticks a lot of those boxes, surprisingly. So I want to show this to you. So first of all, it came with this pretty cool Kydex sheath. The sheath itself, I like. The clip is a little strange. Not bad, just different, I should say. So, this is, like I said, a Boker Enki. So on this side, you can see it has two screws, and it actually kind of has this ledge. So if you have a wide belt, you can kind of put it down. A narrow belt, you can put it up, and it kind of keeps it on that track. So it basically would fit everyone, no matter what type of belt you have, whether you have a thick carry belt or more of a thin dress belt. On this side, you could see you put two screws in there, washers, and then their caption on the inside. So I thought that for my uses, this is the best way to carry it. So I'm right-handed. I would put my belt through here, carry it scout, and then I have this. So if you look at that sheath, it's a pretty thin sheath. This clip is kind of big. I would have preferred something, more like, say, like the minimalist clips. It's hard to beat the minimalist clips, but this certainly isn't bad. I'm happy to have it. I'm happy I can carry it scout carry, so I'm not going to complain anymore. It is what it is, especially for 30 bucks. As you can tell, this isn't a huge knife, but it is a fixed blade. Pop this out. As you can tell, it has this cutout here, which is nice because you could just have your finger find it, and then there is a little area here, not a huge area, but just enough for you to get your thumb and, push out to get it out, and then your finger would normally be here. So, if I were to grab this, I'm automatically going to get used to the idea of finger in the ring, index finger here, push off. So I get it out very easily and in the same position every time. So I like that quite a bit. So let's take a look at this first. The steel, because you guys know I'm not a knife steel snob, is 440B. That's right, 440B. I guess they ran out of 440A. So this is, if you don't know, it's a very, very inexpensive steel. It's going to wear down considerably faster than steels like, kind of like mid-grade steels like 154 cm, and a heck of a lot faster than something like MagnaCut. Okay, it's not really even in those categories, but I don't care really. I have to tell you, I'm happy with it. It came sharp out of the box. And a few things I like about this right off the bat. Number one, I really wanted the finger ring. I wanted a thick blade, which this has. I wanted plenty of jimping. And as you can see, this has plenty of jimping. So we have some jimping here where your thumb would land if you're doing kind of like more detail type work. So you have a nice area here for your thumb where you can kind of choke up and then have a thumb ramp. So that's very nice for control. And then over here, if you're really going to choke up, you have plenty of jimping here, and it's the perfect one. It's kind of like Goldilocks jimping. It's not too much, it's not too little. It's almost like Boker was reading my mind. Another thing I wanted was, besides being full tang, I wanted like a thicker blade stock. I want something that I feel is really, really solid, and this is it. So, like I said, it's a lower cost steel, 440B, but they give you plenty of it. This, I believe, is 0.17 inches. So it's pretty thick, and like I said, with the full tang, it feels very solid. And then you have that taper up to the front. So right here, pretty thick, then you have the taper. Now sometimes when I see knives like this, they're made out of a thinner stock, and they have flat scales, or no scales or close to no scales. This one doesn't have much of a scale. If you look at it, say, okay, well, it's kind of short. Well, it really goes well with the shape and size of the blade, but what I'm really impressed with here is that it has a nice swell for your palm, and it tapers in. So as you can see, when I have my hand there, it really, like, it fits well. Like, it gives you something to really like hold on to and grip onto. It doesn't feel like it's kind of flopping as like a skeletonized knife would. And for those of you who have knives that are either very, very slim or skeletonized, you know what I'm talking about. It's like you don't really have a good purchase on it. With this one, I feel like it locks in really well because when I first saw it, my concern was that my hand wouldn't really fit comfortably in here, but kind of fits like a glove. I mean, my pinky finger is right in there. These 3 fingers fit in very well. There's plenty of room. And then talk about locking in here. My index finger just fits perfectly, and it's not locked in, but it kind of has this little overhang here. So, I mean, there's no way you can choke up on this all day. You're never going to have an accident with this. And if you needed it in a defensive situation, this is probably like the least likely knife you'd ever have to get knocked out of your hands. I mean, even if you get knocked down to the ground, your hand flies open, not only do you have this pinky ring there, and you have this swell to hold on to, but then you got this, like, kind of like almost like hooking your finger. Look at that. So I'm really happy with that stuff. And looks like it's pinned over here. Very basic knife. You know, nothing fancy at all. Just a good, solid, basic knife. Now, you might have noticed on the back here that this is a Boker Magnum knife. I believe this is probably about the 10th or 12th Boker I have. I might even have more than that, maybe more like 15 Bokers. But let me tell you, not all Bokers are the same. You can buy a fancy, schmancy, handmade Boker that is like a beautiful piece of art that'll cost you like $1,000 or more. And let me tell you, they make some beautiful, beautiful knives, especially the ones that are made in Solingen, Germany. Then they have, you know, just kind of like their regular Boker brands, and, you know, those are very nice knives. Then they have the Boker Plus, which is what you see a lot of their knives in. And then they have the Boker Magnums, which are really it's their bottom of the line. So this is, you know, price-wise and quality of products-wise is bottom of the line. But for my purposes, it's very good. I do have a Boker Magnum karambit, and I dislike it immensely. I really don't like it. I think I did a video on that if you want to Google it. I was very disappointed in it. This Boker Magnum, I took a shot on because it's not a folder. It's just a full tang knife, and you really have to mess up to not do the full tangs right. And I got to tell you, they really did this correctly. This is exactly like the type. This is exactly as I had hoped this knife would be. Now, if you saw a video I made about a week or two ago, I kind of did this thing about what I consider the perfect fixed blade knife. And I was going to throw this piece of paper away, but it was such a beautiful piece of artwork. I said, how could I ever do such a thing, right? This might get me into art school one day. So I said that ideally I'd want a knife, due to local laws, that was as close to 3 inches without going over as possible. So this one is, let's say, maybe about 2.45 or something. I'm going from the very tip to the top of the handle. It's a little bit less than 2.5 inches. So that's pretty good. Now, if they had a second version that was like 2.9 inches or exactly 3, I would have gone for that one. But I'll take this. You know, so that's good for me. Handle around 4 inches. So let's measure from here to the finger ring. That's about 3 3/4 inches. You know what? Perfect. That is absolutely perfect. Because you know what? This like totally locks in on my hand. I'm happy with it. So far, pretty good. Very good. Finger ring, yes, very good. The jimping is perfection. Jimping is very good. Like I said, it's not too aggressive, but you absolutely know it's there. And it has 2 spots. It has a thumb ramp with the jimping. Excellent. Contoured handle. You know what? This is pretty good. I mean, the only thing I would change is this is very, very smooth. It looks like it almost has like a faux, like kind of wood grain on it. I don't know what this is. I know they do make a micarta one, but I don't think this is the micarta. This does not feel like micarta to me. I would have liked some kind of texture. Actually, if they had like, what probably would have made the handles perfect for me with that palm swell and the way it fits in the hand, is if it did have something that was either a textured G10 or maybe like a canvas micarta. That would be perfection. And I got to tell you, if they made a version that had that, I'd get it. It would be terrific. But you know what? This is great. Steel. Let's see. I require that it be, I don't care. And you know what? 440B fits into that because I don't care. Blade thickness, more than 0.15. This is 0.17, so it's nice and bulky just the way I want it. Weight. I don't care. This is 3.7. Now, I know some people have a heart attack if they get a knife that's less than 3 inches and it has more than 3 inches of weight. Again, I don't care if it's 3.7 inches. If it weighed 3.7 ounces. If it weighed 4 ounces or 5 ounces or 6 ounces, I really don't care. I'm a full-grown man. I can carry a 5 or 6 ounce knife. Kydex sheath only. They gave me a Kydex sheath. And you know what? If this clip here, if it ends up kind of bugging me, I can always get some rubber straps to put on here. I actually used rubber straps. I bought some rubber straps to put on my Corvette S fixed blade. Fantastic. I bought them on Amazon for about maybe $10 or $11. Really nice. It's made by and what's even better is it's made by like a local U.S. company, and they give you all the hardware. So I would just pick up something like that if the clip wasn't working as well as I had hoped. So, is this my absolute perfect fixed blade knife? No, it could be a little bit better. A little bit better. We could have more texturing over here. The blade could be a little bit longer. That's really about it, really. It's extremely close to exactly what I was looking for. I am very, very happy with this. If you're looking for something like this, because I mean, this is the kind of thing, if I have to open a box or open mail, that I'm going to use, okay? But on the other hand, if there was a situation where there's a, I needed it for self-defense, it's there. Because, again, look at my video I did about a week or so ago on scout carry. This is always in front of me. So when I have this in this rather cool Kydex sheath, it's right here in front of me. If something happens, look at this. I mean, I don't even have to look. I'm just finding it. And I'm drawing it out, and my hand's coming out in the perfect spot. And, either you have a blade on one end and you have a blunt area on the other, which also has jimping. Let's try the overhand. I haven't even tried the overhand. Ah, the overhand. Look at that. You got jimping here, too. I didn't even notice that. That's terrific. You know what? I usually, when I take these knives out, I don't give them letter grades or anything. But you know what? I would give this an A. And for value, I'd give it an A+. It's really nice. Another thing, too, is very nice retention. I am shaking this vigorously. I don't hear any rattle at all. Nothing at all. It's not slipping. So, yeah, good job, Boker. That would actually make me consider buying another Boker Magnum, because for a while I said, yeah, no Boker Magnums for me. And by the way, for those of you who are interested, it came in this box, which I've never seen a Boker come in this kind of box before. Not a good thing or a bad thing, just a thing. Just thought I'd bring it out. So basically, if you have not purchased a Boker knife, which I'm sure a lot of you have, and again, that's the Boker Magnum Enki. If you haven't purchased a Boker knife, look into them because they make some really great stuff. If you're looking for a very, very high-quality knife, check out a Boker. If you're looking for a very inexpensive knife, a very value-driven knife, check out a Boker. If you're looking for something in between, check out a Boker. I mean, it's kind of like they have a knife for everybody. It's really something because, if you have a knife that was made by, say, Medford, I think their cheapest knife is $325. I could be wrong. And there were some other companies, same thing. You're not getting a knife for less than $300 or $500 or $800, depending on who the company is. This place, I've seen knives, brand new Bokers for $12. And I'd rather have a $12 Boker than lots and lots of other companies' stuff, to be honest with you. Even that one that I bought a couple of years ago that I don't like. So I will leave you with that. And again, feast upon the Enki. I'm liking this. I am really liking this. This is pretty sharp. No pun intended. Talk to you guys later.